Blessings and love, one and all. So welcome to this video on Yoni Love. We are going to be continuing this little mini series with talking today about day 3 and day 4 of a sacred moon cycle. So that sacred bleed, right? So if you are someone who has a physical bleed, you're remembering, you're starting to remember the ancient ways, you're starting to delve into the red mysteries, the womb mysteries, you're starting to remember and awaken to the magic of the world and those mystery school teachings, then this may be very helpful for you, and I hope it is. I always love hearing, reading your comments, your feedback, and just anything you wish to share. So thank you so much for being here with me, whether you're watching this as it is coming out on Facebook or whether you're watching this as it's getting posted on another social media platform. To anyone that is new to my channel, thank you for being here. You can find me across all social media at Ascension to Love with Alice, and you can find my website at aliceheath.com. So feel welcome to go onto there and have a little nosy as to what we have to say, and any sacred offerings, priestess offerings, quantum healing, etc., mini courses, micro courses, full-blown courses that are available there. But for all intents and purposes, this video is a continuation of that Yoni Love series, just helping you remember and helping you tune into what is to be offered by that sacred bleed. Now, I would recommend watching a couple of the videos beforehand. They're always quite short, so you don't have to worry about it taking up too much time, but they are quite short, but I don't want to be repeating in every video. So we're going to be talking about day 3 and day 4. If you've not yet looked at day 1 and day 2, please go back and watch that first. But day 3 and day 4 is a very, very magical, powerful time to work with your blood, with your sacred blood. This is the blood that is shed with no violence, right? It's such a rarity. There is nothing more sacred than this blood. There really isn't when it comes to what she has to offer us for divine feminine wisdom. She is the birther of everything, right? That yoni space, that sacred energy, that undulating, beautiful, like, cave of mysteries is essentially what it is, right? You know, it's the base of your sacred sexuality, that kundalini rising, that shakti rising, you know, and you know, she really does birth absolutely everything. Now, day 3 and day 4 are super, super special because we've already released, as you remember on day 1 and day 2, we've already released whatever we've been clearing, healing, manifesting, releasing, right? We've already cleared that with day 1 and day 2 of the sacred bleed. For some people that goes into day 3, and for some people it kind of concludes on day 2. It just depends on your cycle and how she is expressing herself. So tune into her, because every month will be different, every cycle will be different. Tune into what she's telling you. Place your hand on your womb to connect with that energy, and your hand on your heart even, just to feel that energy, right? And it's super interesting because the sacred bleed offers stem cells, right? There's stem cells there. So stem cells, for anyone that has just literally a basic understanding of biology, you know, stem cells can go into the body and become anything that they need to become, right? They are literally very, very you know, they're malleable. They can be, you know, they can become whatever they need to be in your body to offer your body what it needs, right? So when we look at that energy within us and how we can work with it in ceremony and ritual, it's very, very profound. So we're going to be looking today at, and you've already seen me paint with the moon cycle. You've already seen that wisdom come through and how she offers herself to us in that wisdom and expression. But what else can we do with that blood, right? If we are creating, if we are manifesting, right, we can work with that blood in ceremony and ritual in various different ways. We can offer it to the earth, and you've heard me speak about offering blood to the earth, but always be aware of what energy your sacred blood is already carrying, right? Because if it's the start of your moon cycle, she's probably releasing and neutralizing and healing. And if it's later on in your moon cycle, she's probably creating and manifesting and things like that. So whenever you have sacred blood that you're working with, especially day 3 and day 4, what intention are you imbuing into that sacred water from within, right? Because that's what she is. She's sacred water, right? Mixed with life force energy, the power to create. So we can offer this to to the earth. For example, if we wish to manifest something for the earth, if we wish to offer healing, if we wish to create extra fertility in the earth, extra abundance in crop, in nature, right? In love, in energy around the space. If we wish to set a space, if you've moved into a new home, or even if you've not moved into a new home, but if you're in your current home and you wish to really bring up the energy and just create something new, then you can drop some of that blood around the perimeter in a sacred geometrical pattern. Maybe you work with the Vesica Piscis, maybe you work with a spiral, maybe you work with something different. You know, you can allow that sacred blood to drop into the earth and create a grid, an energy grid. And as you're doing so, your heart is open. You are in your heart space for this. Anyone that is not in their heart space probably isn't watching this video, to be fair. So it's guaranteed that if you're watching this, your heart is open enough to watch this and to receive this and to remember the sanctity of what is within you and what is wanting to express without of you as well. In ancient times, before the feminine was desecrated to the enormity that it had been and has been, and I said had first because it is shifting and changing. We are remembering, and we are using our holy fire to transmute that energy and to hold ourselves strong and powerful. But what's really interesting is, you know, in ancient times, priestesses would gather together and they would bleed collectively into the earth to help her heal, to help her grow, and to just offer back to the earth, offer back to Pachamama, offer in love and thanks and appreciation for all she brings us, for that constant flow, right? That constant nurturing, that constant providing in her feminine way, and those subtle bodies. It would also be drank, right? Ingested. I know, now that might be a triggering point for some people. That's okay if it is. Sit with it. Sit with it. If it does trigger you, sit with it. And find out why. Find out what's there to heal. Right? What belief have you received and absorbed and embodied from a fear-based belief? Because that blood is sacred. So some would, in ceremony, ingest only a small bit of it, but ingest some to bring the manifestation back into embodiment. They would work with it on their body, rebirthing themselves or placing it on certain energy points, anointing themselves, right? Third eye, crown, throat, heart, womb, solar plexus, lunar plexus, zeal chakra, feet, hands. You know, I mean, wasn't it actually only said just over 2,000 years ago by one of the most famous men to have walked this planet, you know, this is my body and this is my blood, drink it. Because guess what? Yeshua, also known as Jesus, was also a high priest in the initiates of the mystery schools, right? He was in the mystery schools. He understood and he had integrated his feminine and his masculine energy, and those rituals that he brought forward, and I am going to use that word rituals, because everything that he does that is written in the Bible is ritual. It's ritualistic. The bathing, the baptizing, right? The washing of the feet, the drinking of my blood, the eating of my body. All of that is the mystery school teachings that come back from many different corners of the world, really. You know, you've got the lineage of Isis Osiris, right? You know, that's the Rose lineage, you know, which is connected to the Hathors, which is connected to many other things. You know, he went and learned in Egypt, in Egypt, to learn all of that and to go through his initiations. And it was Mary Magdalene who took him through that. He went over to India, right, and studied Tantra, right? That's where he integrated that feminine energy, the womb energy, and balanced that in that sacred sexuality relationship that he had there, right? So if this is triggering, good, because triggering is good. It's there to help you notice where your inner being, your true light, is not agreeing with what your mental pattern is, with what your belief is, right? That's when you get triggered. That's when we get triggered. When our higher self, when our soul and our higher self are going, yeah, I think that's true, but your mind is going, oh my gosh, that scares me. I've been told to fear that, right? So it's interesting that this is coming up in this video, because I had no idea I was going to talk about this. But yeah, there is a lot of the day 3 and day 4 that the sanctity of that blood can really bring together communities, release fears, because when we're focused on such light that is being emitted out of us, you know, the stem cells that are in there as well, it can be whatever it needs to be, and that's not just for a human body as well. The magic that is carried, the energy that is carried, it can become anything for anything that it needs to be. And I'd just be very curious and very interested for anyone that has been working with their moon cycle and has been working with the sanctity of it, the sanctity of her. You know, if you've ever had a cut or anything like that and some of that blood has gone on that space, how quick does that heal in comparison to what it normally would take? Right? For some it would be quite miraculous healing. So it's really interesting. So these ideas and these thoughts are here to offer you avenues to go down within your own heart space and within your own womb space. Allow the feminine energy, the divine feminine energy within and around you to drop in those fascinating and interesting channels of thought and follow them, discover them, feel, discern what feels right for you, discern what doesn't feel right for you. Everyone has their own truth. There is no whole truth here, because everyone is receiving a different part of that puzzle. Everyone is receiving, we're all tapping into that same light, but we're interpreting it in a different way, right? So interpret your truth here. Feel how you wish to work with day 3 and day 4. Do you wish to do what priestesses eons back would do and ingest some for a ritualistic reason, for a ceremonial reason, for deep healing, for deep manifestation, for a deep rebirth, right? Do you wish to paint with her? Do you wish to heal the land with her? Or is she just saying, no, I'm good, I'm just going to flow today, I'm just going to flow out, and you don't need to worry about collecting me or doing anything with me, we're just going to flow this month, and just, that's it, it's good. Because she's doing everything she needs to do already, within and without of you. She's already doing that. But if you did want to work with intention, I would highly recommend following me on social media. I'd highly recommend tuning into my email list. So go to aliceheath.com, subscribe to the email list, because in December, the start of December, I'm running a Sacred Feminine Wisdom course. It's going to be a 3-part course. Each class is going to be released on a week-by-week basis. It's going to be 90 minutes each week to receive and to digest and to embody. It's not going to be live as a certain time each week, simply because I have viewers from all over the world and I can never accommodate everyone in everyone's time zone. So they will be pre-recorded classes that are released on a week-by-week basis for 3 weeks running. Okay, look out for when that is posted, because we're going to be talking about these red mysteries, the womb mysteries, in more depth and detail, and those types of ceremonies, and how you can work with that, and how you can really up-level your connection. And when you up-level your connection, you are really doing what you came here to do, you know? We're going to be talking about somatics, Yoni somatics. We're going to be talking about sacred sexuality. And it doesn't matter what level you are at in your rediscovery of this. If it calls to you, have a look for it. We will have a live Q&A in that space of the 3 weeks. And just to let you know, it's going to be starting on a wonderful eclipse. So it's going to be starting on a new moon eclipse, right? So that's a solar eclipse. Really powerful energy. And it's going to take us up to around just after the full moon, okay? Just before the winter solstice, right? So, really powerful time. I look forward to seeing you all there. And in the meantime, thank you so much for being here. I welcome any of your questions. If you do have questions and you want me to talk about anything on a video or anything like that, feel welcome to email me at ascension@aliceheath.com and I'll do a video about it. Because if you're thinking it, if you're wondering it, chances are so many other people. So much love, so many blessings. Thank you for being here. Love to you.